the chance before. After getting to know my girlfriend better, she mentioned her fascination with a particular type of intimate activity. I expressed my interest, and we started discussing the possibility of giving it a try. Finally, we took the leap and attempted it yesterday. Going into it, I had certain anticipations based on the sensations I've felt from using a vibrator or my fingers in the past. However, when it happened, the feeling was more akin to the sensation I get right before using the restroom. I have to admit, I'm feeling a bit let down now. My dad sexually abused me from when I was 4-12 and is planning on having another child. How do I get him arrested? My father is a psychopath and a pedophile, and I have proof. I haven't spoken to his side of the family because they know about him and they are protecting him. I was a victim of my father's sexual abuse from the age of 4 until I was around 12 or 13. Given the prospect of him having another child, I am concerned about his potential future actions and the potential harm it may cause. My father appears to be a psychopathic individual with a history of pedophilia, and I possess evidence of his wrongdoing. Due to my family's reluctance to confront his actions, I have chosen not to maintain contact with his side of the family, as I believe they may be aware of his behavior and are actively shielding him from accountability. As someone who has previously been silenced by his influence and resources, I am anxious about openly discussing this topic, particularly since he holds considerable wealth and social connections. I reside in Massachusetts and am seeking guidance on the available options for taking action against my father. TLDR: in Massachusetts, you can contact local authorities or report the abuse to the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families. You can also reach out to organizations that specialize in supporting survivors of child abuse. CW. Mill makes me scapegoat. Content warning. Mention of abuse. My Mill will be my ex-Mill very soon. My spouse cheated and was so abusive he put me in the hospital, but Mill is blaming me for the divorce. Apparently I drove him to it, and I'm evil by accepting any child sup. The unconditional support of a distant relative. The dynamics of our family are about to take a dramatic turn. My spouse's infidelity and emotional abuse landed me in the hospital, but my mother-in-law is unwilling to see it that way. Instead, she's convinced that I'm the catalyst for the breakdown of the marriage. The irony is that she believes I'm the one who pushed him to it, as if I somehow provoked the abuse. I'm struggling to comprehend the depth of her resentment. A true mother figure would offer guidance and support when needed, but my mother-in-law is choosing to hold me accountable for the consequences of her son's actions. Her refusal to acknowledge the abuse and her expectations that I accept a limited child support package are leaving me bewildered. Americans wearing shoes in the house is absolutely disgusting. They'll wear their outside shoes over carpet, on the couch, in their bedrooms, on the bed, in the kitchens, all over their house. It absolutely makes no sense. You're tracking all the outside dirt and filth into a peculiar American habit leaves much to be desired. It's astonishing to see individuals traipsing through their homes in outdoor footwear. They'll stomp onto plush carpets, lounge on sofas, saunter into bedrooms, even jump onto their beds, and stroll into kitchens, completely disregarding the sanctity of their indoor spaces. It defies logic to track all that outside grime and dirt into areas meant for rest and nourishment. This seeming epidemic has invaded many households across the nation, leaving one to wonder about the cultural norms that permit such behavior. Why has this become an accepted practice in America? Do I have possible damages in a home closing canceled 15 minutes before due to changing mind? We were set to close on our home yesterday, and 15 minutes before, the buyers stated that the purchase wouldn't be worth it, not noting an issue with inspections, final walkthrough, etc. Potential consequences of a last-minute home closing cancellation. A home closing that was scheduled to take place yesterday was unexpectedly canceled 15 minutes prior to the agreed-upon time. The buyers suddenly expressed doubts about the purchase, citing that it wouldn't be worth it, without specifying any issues related to inspections or the final walkthrough. They then pressed us to lower the price further. If we were to agree to a reduced price and proceed, we may be concerned about potential damages associated with the delayed move. Considering that the movers were scheduled for more than 2 days and our total moving expenses came to around $4,000, we wonder if we have grounds for a lawsuit to recover these costs. TLDR. Can we sue for damages if we reduce the price and accept the home sale after it was canceled 15 minutes before closing? Realizing your NMOM is your biggest enemy in life will never not hurt. Realizing your mom is the one who sabotaged you since you were a child is soul-destroying. My BF's family have been kind and welcoming to me. She randomly came out with the comment, "The only reason they're The harsh truth is that discovering your mother can be your greatest adversary in life is a painful realization that never truly fades. The revelation that your mother has been secretly undermining you since childhood is emotionally devastating. My boyfriend's family has been incredibly kind and accepting of me, but my own mother made a shocking comment that they're only being so welcoming in order to gather information about me. I couldn't help but think that's far from the truth, and it's clear that she has a skewed perception of people. Not everyone is manipulative or malicious, but it's hard to accept when someone who should be a source of love and support has shown you otherwise. It's heartbreaking to think about the countless times my child self struggled with self-doubt, unsure of why I felt so unworthy. Now, I realize that it was all due to my mother's actions. The pain of her betrayal is overwhelming, and I feel as though I've been robbed of the loving and supportive mother I deserved. USA, am I legally required to tip? I am usually a generous GU and have tipped almost always. But this time my server just ignored me the whole evening, and when I asked for service she came with an attitude and I still had to ask for a second time to receive my order. After tipping in the United States, am I legally obligated? As an American who generally shows appreciation for good service by tipping, I found myself in an unusual situation recently. At a restaurant, I was consistently ignored by my server throughout the evening. When I politely requested attention, she responded with an attitude, and I had to ask for my order a second time. Feeling unsatisfied with the service, I decided not to leave a tip. However, upon leaving the restaurant, the server and the manager approached me, insisting that I had an obligation to provide a tip, citing the low wages of waiters as the reason. While this encounter took place in Florida, my question extends to the entire United States. Am I legally required to tip? Tipping laws in the United States can be complex, and regulations vary from state to state. In general, there is no federal law requiring customers to tip, but some establishments may include gratuity on the bill. This issue can be particularly confusing for tourists and international visitors, as tipping customs may differ significantly from those in their home countries. Understanding local tipping norms is essential for providing respectful service and avoiding misunderstandings. TLDR: while there is no federal law requiring customers to tip in the United States, you should just stop taking your birth control. DH would love any baby that's his. Gabhead brings up the fact that I should just cold turkey quit taking my birth control so I can make her a grandma about once every 2 weeks. Never mind the fact that I'm on it because of my mother-in-law frequently suggests that I simply discontinue using birth control, claiming that my husband would be overjoyed to welcome any child that's his. It's amusing that she makes this comment every couple of weeks, despite being oblivious to the reality of our situation. My decision to take birth control is rooted in managing my polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, and I'm not alone in this choice. My husband and I are both